So if I could please call us to order. I have to get started so that we don't fall too far behind our schedule. So for those who don't know me, I'm Andy Bowden. I work in the administration of Caltech Optical Observatory, which is the campus home for Palomar Observatory. And I'd like to welcome you all here. We are grateful and humbled and excited that you're here to help us celebrate what is the 70th anniversary of the dedication of the observatory. So I've been in my present job for about a decade, but of more direct relevance to my narrative intent today, I've been a little astronomer here at Palomar for about 20 years. And that's relevant because that's the kind of period of time it took to conceive and build and actually get this telescope and this observatory on the sky. It kind of frames the monumental effort that hundreds of people made against the backdrop of the Great Depression and World War II to realize what was the animating vision of the observatory, namely a 200-inch telescope. And we're here today to celebrate the 70th anniversary of Caltech's dedicating that telescope in the name of the animating visionary, George Ellery Hale. I'm not going to steal the thunder of the speakers that are going to come after me, but I think it's appropriate to recognize the dedication event, which is what we're here to do today. I am holding in my hand my very own personal copy of the program from the 70th, from the dedication event. Let me pull it out here. It looks like this. I know what you're thinking. No, you may not have one. This is mine. I'll be watching it very closely. Now, what I could do is look in here and find the remarks that were made in dedicating the telescope on behalf of Caltech trustees. Then President V.D. Bridge spoke and dedicated the telescope in the name of George Ellery Hale. But it's actually much more interesting for me to let Professor DeBridge speak for himself. So if we could do that, please.
Beautiful screen, I think. Yes.
On May 10, 1948, the Board of Trustees of the California Institute of Technology unanimously adopted the following resolution, which I herewith announce for the first time. The Board of Trustees of the California Institute of Technology hereby resolve that the 200-inch telescope of the Palomar Mountain Observatory shall hereafter be known as the Hale Telescope. By this action, the Board of Trustees seeks to recognize the great achievements of George Ellery Hale, who served as director of the Mount Wilson Observatory from 1904 to 1923, who served as a member of the Board of Trustees of the California Institute of Technology from 1907 to 1938, who originated the bold conception of the 200-inch telescope and whose brilliant leadership made possible its design and construction. As this great instrument probes the secrets of the universe, it is fitting that it should stand also in memory of the great scientist and the great leader who contributed so brilliantly to the science of astronomy and who served so ably his community and his nation.
So I want to thank my colleague Andy Mejia for finding a lot of the media involved in that presentation. That really was Lita Bridges' voice, and those really were archival footage and stills from the dedication event in June of 1948. Anyway, so we think we have an exciting program for you today. We're going to talk about some of the history and the legacy of the two telescopes that are relevant to our discussion. You're going to get a chance to see them today. And a third stop on our tour rotation will be our Visitor Center Museum, where we try to recognize a lot of the science and scientists who spent their careers working at the observatory. So, first I'm going to introduce my colleague Sterl Finney, who's going to talk about the 200-inch telescopes. So Sterl is a professor of theoretical astrophysics at the California Institute of Technology. He's also an alumnus of the Institute for Advanced Study and an undergraduate degree from Caltech, in addition to a PhD from Cambridge under Martin Rees, who, if you have not met him, is this amazing, remarkable gentleman, really remarkable person, just a prince of a guy. He was the inaugural saltpeter lecturer at Cornell University in 1999. He's a winner of the Warner Prize from the AAS in 1995. He was a Sloan Fellow Foundation and a recipient of the Marshall Scholarship. But my favorite part is that it turns out that Sterl is a hidebound floating traditionalist, particularly when it comes to honoring former directors of the observatory. I do, however, hear that his knees are no longer considered suitable for public viewing. Anyway, with that, we turn it over to Sterl.
For those of you who never met Gary Neugebauer, that was a Gary Neugebauer too. Gary was never seen in long pants.